Hey everybody, Doug here from 2 Plus Stuff. Today we are hanging out. We are continuing our build stream. For whatever reason, Games Workshop has allowed me to talk about everything regarding Skaven Tide and the core book, but I have to wait until tomorrow to talk more about Spearhead. That is the idea that we were given. So I don't know if I have something planned or whatnot, but anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about that. But I am going to be building the Skaven Spearhead army set as they depicted it on the Warhammer community page. And so that's what we're building today. To give you a sense of what I have been cooking in the background, I've been a very little busy bee, by the way. I realized that one of the main hindrances when they were explaining the Spearhead format was going to be the terrain, because there are bespoke terrain pieces, and Chaboy has been hard at work. Haha, here we have our big pieces, small pieces. Choo-choo. Got some nice outlines and basic shapes. So, more information about these coming soon. But yeah, I worked hard to solve a problem before it was even there. That being said, what my real plan was to get somebody to help me make some sweet bases so that I can make my own custom ones. So rather than having, say, the Skaven wall barrier thing, there's like a big Skaven bell and stuff like that, I want to put my Garden of More terrain up here and let that just, like, I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for what I can do with this. But anyway, so I'll keep you posted there. In the meantime, we are going to be building up some Skavens. Let's do that. We're going to pan over here. Let me make sure my camera is dialed in a bit. Auto. Elwert's in the chat. Hey, hey. I also, in between building models, like I said, I do have the core book. If you have any pressing questions on your mind, please feel free to ask. I'm just going to set that there because that's pretty as all get out. We have my Skaven. Let's see. Let's get this Clawlord. I have been warning people a few things. If you saw yesterday's stream, that I think this is the Clawlord. This looks right. Yeah. The Lord Arcanum or whatever, the smaller Stormcast hero with the flaming sword, was an absolute pain to build. Oh my god. That was not fun. But everything else snapped together like a breeze. Wargamer Willie, hey Doug, coming in loud and clear. Nice! First time here, love the lore you bring. And let's see. Looking for pieces 1, 2, 3. Does anybody have any questions they would like to throw at me regarding either play experiences or, I don't know, rule stuff? Regarding main AOS, they're being real strange about what I'm allowed to talk about, and quite frankly, it's a little bit silly, but here we are. Wargamer Willie, how's work been treating you? It's been a bit, man. And again, it's been a bit since I streamed. I got really paranoid about, like, oversharing stuff because I'm not good at that. I'm just very casual with people. So if somebody was overanalyzing me, that makes me nervous. But so I haven't done much in the way of streaming or building. There's a lot of creators who have all their stuff, like, built for like tutorials and stuff, but me personally, this is what I enjoy about the hobby, is building it with folks, chatting with them, and building is the worst part for me, so it makes it go by in a much less painful manner. There we go. I listened to you on Garage Hammer. Do you think you could speak more about your experience with Spearhead? Yes, I can. I can't give details because they asked me to wait for details till tomorrow, but I do have a video planned. But I'm more than happy to expand upon what I already said on Garage Hammer, because at least I know that won't get me in trouble. That's the thing. We're not supposed to talk about Spearhead, but we've already talked about Spearhead. I don't know. Whatever. So, So let me go through that again in a little bit more detail on my own account and reckoning. Wait, that's a weird setup. So that peg. Sorry, 1 second. There's already some weird body morph stuff happening here on the Skaven guy that I'm like, wait, that's a piece. Okay, that's what it was. There was a piece of flash on there, and I was like, what the heck am I even looking at? And it was nothing. Nothing worth looking at. Oh, I see what I did. I confused his head and his butt. That makes sense. One of these ends has got to work. This thermometer's going somewhere. All right. No. You're good, Jordan. No, the NDA is silly because we were allowed to talk about it then. And there's a magical. Please don't. Anyway. So regarding my game, we got sat into a room with other content creators, and we were assigned partners on who to play. So they had some like bespoke matchups that they wanted people to experiment with. Can't tell you my opponent, but they're very sweet. And I had Flesh Eater Quartz. He had Blades of Corn, and did a very good job of they were a little bit more experienced with the game, but did a very good job of kind of walking me through like, well, hey, if you do this, remember the twist card affects XYZ, you know, kind of stuff of like not telling me how to play, but contextualizing decisions, I think, which is probably the best way to teach somebody. And I played terribly. Part of that is because I did not understand like the noble deed mechanic. Like I didn't play any Flesh Eater Quartz in the last edition. I got into them, you know, just to paint and build towards the end, and I just never went out to a game night and actually ran them in their current codex because I feel like third wasn't that fun for me. So I wasn't used to the idea of like trying to, you know, get used to that game of your heroes being in combat, but you don't want to overcommit them. How do you shield them up? That kind of stuff. It was a good learning game, good learning experience. Our game ended, we were within a 3-point margin of each other. One thing that became very immediately important in my game was the Morbeg Knights. Now, I was like, okay, well, you know, we've been hearing about the new combat system. Let's just throw some dudes in combat and see what happens, right? I mean, that's kind of that's how I test stuff. Right? You tell me it's a hammer, I'm gonna smash something with it. So I ran the knights in and they charged and they did pretty good damage, but they were able to get out of combat. And that was really important because they ended up being my MVPs because they had the mobility to go in the back line and steal objectives during that game of Spearhead. What else? 7 and 8. Oh, here we go. What else about that game? The only thing as I left, and I didn't even consider it while I was playing, was the fact that none of our armies had guns. Like we both just like shooting phase, lol, right? Me and the corn player. And so I was like, well, you know, for demo purposes, it would have been nice if one side at least had that. Like, I walked away and I was like, wait, was Lookout Sura part of the game? Like for a brief moment, I was like, I don't know. And it's not because they were like shady about it or weren't telling us. It was just like, it literally never came up. Because then my immediate game of fourth was Night Haunt melee list versus Slaves to Darkness. So I'm like, in terms of education, it was probably not the best lineup, but it was a lot of fun. He goes on the base, really? Cool. This, the Gnaw Beast or whatever he's riding, this thing goes together real slick. This might be up there with the Stormstrike Chariot in terms of simplicity. All the seams just like, good job. Let's see if I can find one of those gold bases. Nope. Are you not a 70? Oh, I see. It goes onto the thing, and the thing stands on the base. Gotcha. Oh, YouTube hype is on Skaven. Haven't heard any love for the new Stormcast. Smatta, oh yeah, I did my live stream yesterday. I've been building the spearheads in order, so or like one after the other. So yesterday we built the Stormcast ones. It was the prosecutors were fantastic. Actually, all the models were great except for the Lord Arcanum, which people saw me and my consternation with yesterday. One person was in the comments was very nice of like, man, it would really stress me out if I had that much trouble building a model on stream. And I was like, thank you. Thanks for not making fun of me. It was real hard. People are generally pretty nice to me with that kind of stuff, right? Where it's like, there was no way to know. This is why YouTubers do stuff in advance, so they don't do that. And it's like, haha, no. We're just going to raw dog this model set. I believe that's the proper term. There we go. Ooh, that's a slick looking thing. Did I miss a piece? I did. He's got like this little, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can, yeah. This little cavity right here. Oh man, that's funny. Let me see if I can pop that. It shouldn't be too hard. His torso is essentially just split down the center, so it should be as simple as... Yep. Well, heck, this is good to get on camera too, so if you don't feel like you screwed it up. There is one very, very tiny little chest piece that hovers in this little nook here, so let's grab him. I will say, if you're working with push-fit models, the best thing you can do is slip... This is what I do anyway, I don't know if it's the best, but you just slip your X-Acto knife in between a crack, and you just gently rock it up and down, and that'll nurse the two sides apart. It helps a lot with breakage. And then once it's apart, then you could be like, F this thing! And then start hacking and slashing with the X-Acto knife until the, you know, little plugs go away. As you are wont to do. So, does it go like these? Yes. Oh, I see. Yes, okay. That is exactly how it goes. We are nailing this. Except for the part that we don't seem to be nailing. I think I accidentally overpushed one thing and bent it, so I'm just going to glue it down, but it all snaps together good. Like the seams are perfect, it's just, I think I bowed apart, so it's like trying to pop back out. There it goes. Oh, she's a beaut. One, two... Nice. There we go. There's no glue on it? Nope. Well, it's not supposed to be required. They're supposed to be snap fit. The Lord Arcanum, I had an immense amount of trouble with her left arm. So I ended up having to cut the entire like assembly off and then built the rest of her. And then at the very end, put a bunch of plastic glue and plugged the arm where it was supposed to be. Because nothing was stacking right. Oh, here we go. Some questions. Steve, are the core rules still about 40 pages? Yes, I would say they're the same, if not a little bit less, but there are a lot more images. Like, for example, I guess I have the core rulebook right here. I can show you. Okay, so there's the core rules starting. And it gets to, what was it, 218? That's 20 something. We'll include advanced rules. But it goes to 231. So you're looking at 36 pages. And that's me attacking on a few because you would want to reference stuff like the battle plan or whatever. But I mean, yeah, so we're talking under 40 pages. And there's quite a few of them, like specifically when it comes to like measurements and that kind of stuff. There's these really nice, generous size things. So you can, they wanted to like have the picture be big enough to articulate the kinds of turns you can make and how you would measure that stuff to make it very clear. But yeah, I would say it's certainly no more complicated. Going to enjoy this new box vicariously through you as a sad chaos cow. I don't even know how to approach the new... Oh, Beast of Chaos. I'm so sorry. I understand. I will say, one thing that was asked when I came out on Garage Hammer and said that I had been playing was someone was indignant about the idea that the content creators were somehow dishonest. Like, oh, you should have told us they were getting rid of Bone Splitters and Beasts of Chaos. And I was like, man, I walked out of that room thinking every single faction was going to be supported. That was a total surprise to me that day. I just definitely woke up with that, what did they do feeling. But I understand. I understand. Nice. Let's see. I'm just going down the text as I see it. So if I have not at your question yet, please forgive me. Willie, all this is confusing. They're selling a box that no one can talk about. Yes, exactly. Super excited about Spearhead League play. Nice. Yeah, me too. One thing I can say is I'm working in the background on creating a scoring sheet for events. Essentially, I want to have a packet so that somebody could go to their local game store, download it, and just have a scoring sheet for like a 1-day 5-round really quick and simple event. That's the goal anyway. I think if you started around 9, including lunch and stuff, you could be out. When would that put you out? I don't know, probably like 5:30, 6:30, something like that. Okay, and then this goes on the outside. There's something about the snap fit models that immediately, like, it brings out that childish part of me where it's like, I know how to color in the lines, okay? I don't need to be told how to do this. Okay, and then he's got his arm. There we go, kind of slumped. And then his whole chest plate comes on. Ooh, man, he went together like clean. That is amazing, actually. I'm really impressed with him specifically. Well, including his mount. That was effortless. Let's see. To be fair, not many spearheads have ranged. That's true. It's true. It's not a center point, but it was the way of introducing things was to give us a speech, play spearhead, and then the full edition. And I actually loved that approach because spearhead gave us enough familiarity with like the battle tactics and stuff like that. So I appreciated it all. It was just like, well, we could have injected a little bit more of each phase a little bit. Forgive me, just stopped to get some incredible boba tea. Oh, let's see. Some of these content creators are doing the most lazy coverage of the boxes. Saw a channel with 120 subs not even show any models or anything from... I mean, well, I'm going to say I am not one to speak ill of my contemporaries. Is that the word you would use? I will say, when they give you the information and how you're allowed to reveal the information is sketchy. So if you were to make a bunch of videos that you then had to retroactively edit to make sure you didn't say things before you were allowed to say them because you didn't know what you were allowed to say when you said it when you were told it, this is my life. So anyway, I understand. I mean, I'm not one to talk. My content is super lazy. I literally just read the book with the camera down, and now I'm building the models with you because I didn't take the time to do it beforehand, so... Peak laziness. Peers, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Do content creators get the faction packs? Sort of. Can't talk too much about that. Anyone know what Lady Olander and Nighthaunt are up to in the current lore? Just started building a Nighthaunt army for AOS. Also, I hope they bring back the Morngull. Last I knew, what was Lady O doing? She helped Catacross get a foothold in the 8 points. What else? Okay, we got the Grayseer and the Warlock Engineer next. Find these boys. So many Skaven sprues. Okay. You look important. What are you? That looks like a Grayseer. Do I see the telescope? Yep. Okay, that must be both of them. So it looks like the new Grayseer and the Engineer are on a single sprue, guys, in case you are keeping count. Or track for your own collections or whatever. This will likely be one box, I'd imagine, in the future. And she did team up with Be'lakor. Yes. Yep. Not by choice. Yes, so at the end of Broken Realms, Be'lakor broke into her like most inner sanctum, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me, it's been a hot minute. But he was threatening to like do something with her bones that would curse her or something. He had something over her. And so basically she abdicated and assisted him in whatever plan he was doing at the time. 16. There she is. If you're a Skaven player, I'll be happy to report these tales do not seem all that finicky. I had a bunch of Plague Monks with little clipped tails because they were popped right up. 19. Let's see. Dune Vader. Hey Doug, so far who's better to build, Stormcast or Skaven? I finished the Stormcast and this is my second model into Skaven. Well, we'll see. The only problem with the Stormcast one was, is it the Lord Arcanum, Knight Arcanum, whatever it was, one of those smaller heroes with the flaming sword and the pupper. That one gave me a lot of trouble, but it's because it's like these peg and loop designs, and her shoulder in particular had one peg and like 3 pieces were supposed to like loop onto it, and then the top piece goes on. It's something, I don't know if the peg was bent or what. They weren't stacking, so I had to cut the whole arm assembly off and then just plug it in at the end to glue it all together. Now, once I allowed myself to do that, it went together real fast. It was just a... Well, I would really like to do it the way they told me to. I was led to believe that this would work. Everybody else has actually been fantastic, though. I have not had a single hiccup like that, which is great. Little squirrely head on there. And then he got his arm with the knife. Ooh. Probably helps if I don't drop him. Yep, he's snapping right together, no problem so far. Lord Veritant, Doug, the Lord Arcanum is this... Oh, you're right, Lord Veritant it must be. Lady O so far has defeated Celestin Prime, freed Kratikos, helped Katakros, and the 8 points helped Be'lakor achieve the clouds. She's bouting in the 1,000 to success column. Oh yeah, she's a boss babe. Like, she's crushing it. Okay, these boys are both on 32, so let me just snag those real quick. I'm going to continue complaining about this on every stream until GW fixes it. You're telling me you can get the separate sprues for the different armies, but you can't separate the bases? You just still have to put them in one Uber bag? Get out of here. You made everything real civil to split up until it came to the bases, and now everybody has to stop. You don't want to lock in. So I'm just going to clip that plug out. There we go. Never be afraid to just clip the plug. No idea why that just snapped off. Oh, I might have clipped the plug that was connected to. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Ah, he does fill up the base nice. I didn't use the little plug thing on the bottom because I apparently clipped that the wrong way, but he came together well. GW did not make the names of the Stormcast heroes easy to remember. Agreed. I would love to be a fly on the wall in their naming department. Like, what? I don't know. They play like cornhole, but like the words, the little soft things fall into different words on the Theosaurus. source chart or whatever. I don't know. Boom. Oh wow, the engineer is like 4 pieces. Yeah. Well, I can't find the angle for the last shoulder pauldron. Clip it and keep going. Luckily, it's easy to tell how it should sit just because it has a mouse on it, so it's like oriented right. Boom, engineer, Dunzo, like him. Okay, what's next? We've got I don't think I need that. Let's see. I'm trying to build this specifically. So our next thing in our instruction manual are the Rat Ogres. Let me grab their sprues. Okay. Let's see how these guys do. They come in this nice little 3 wide setup here. Let's see. Also, for anyone interested in Night Haunt, Lady of Sorrows is a great Lady O book that gives an insight into the cities and Azir politics. Ooh, I will read that, Liam. Thank you. They release so many, and I'm also trying to read books for the Horus Heresy thing that, like, if I don't have an active recommendation, I typically just can't, you know? What do we got here? Okay. Choose the variant you want to build. Flamethrower hand or meat hook hand. Well, you gotta go flamethrower. Okay, so just the one guy has the option. Okay. Seems like they're, I'm impressed with the amount of customizations here for these snap fit ones. They got different heads. One of the head options is kind of that helmeted scryer look, and the other one is more of an open beast look, which would fit in. I mean, both of them fit anybody, but yeah, it looks very moldery. So let's get going. Do you have some of the old ones? No, I don't. Sorry. The new Stormcast models are a lot less clunky compared to the old ones. I kind of look at the older ones. I like them if the old ones more if they wanted to continue the idea of this like Art Deco style, but they've really moved away from that. It's whatever. What am I looking for? 8, 9, 10. Here we go. Almost clipped out 6 by accident. 8 and 10. Okay, snap these together. Okay. Clipped that a bit much and accidentally made it a little spiky. What would I name, or the naming conventions for Stormcast? Ooh. Good question. What would my naming convention for Stormcast be? See, it's not, to me, it's not about Lord and Knight, because that does accurately define the different ranks that they were talk about, like the Knight Arcanum versus the Lord Arcanum. It's more prosecutors, liberators, jubilators, whatever we want to call them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all of those. Everything ending with ors. I don't care about the actual, like, job titles. That's not what I'm talking about. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. That's the wrong sprue. No troubles yet with the Rat Ogres, just a bunch of little parts. Aldor, 4th edition is out. Thought you were supposed to release in July. It is. This is an advanced copy from GW, and I chose to build mine with you folks. So welcome. Okay, wait, do you put the sides? Yeah, you put the sides together. This one. Interesting. Oh, I see. It's down here, not the top of the back. Apologies, everybody. Took me a second to realize which way the picture was trying to orient me to. Missing some? Let's see. There it is. Hey guys, the thing that I was missing was that I was holding it upside down. Whenever a model's, I had this problem with the Glotkin too. Whenever they make a dome or like a hollowed sphere, I always struggle to like rotate it to like, what do you want this to look like? 4 and 5. Also, I think this is a... Oh, thank you so much, buddy. That's very kind of you. Stormcast Eternals were built yesterday. Yep, we did the whole, just about all of it. I had the Lord Knight thing on Rift Stalker built, but that's about it. And then this assembly just plugs right in, really? Is that easy? Oop. It's only easy if you don't drop it. Ah. Let's see, then we need a head, probably. That would probably help him fight. H11. Nice. The detail on these, I know my camera probably isn't picking it up, but it is quite nice. Oh yeah, and then for the head, I want the scryer looking head. 15 and 16. I love the helmeted, like... I don't know. To me, it makes them seem more beast-like if it's like, oh man, we can't even let him see. Otherwise, he'll get real mad. Like, well, what is he like now? What models do you think will be released to supplement both factions? What big models do you foresee? For Skaven and Stormcast? Big model. Like, I'm sorry, is the question is presupposing there's going to be a new, like, centerpiece model? Because we've definitely seen the new Skaven big, I don't know what it's called, gore rat, I don't know, the big behemoth looking thing. Bone Ripper we have at home. I think it looks better than Bone Ripper, but yeah. Okay, so there's one Rat Ogre. Thank you so much, Aldo. That really did make my day. You wouldn't like him when he's angry, though probably you don't like him. Exactly, yeah. What are you gonna do? Is there a right time to catch a Rat Ogre? Okay, these ones don't have weapon options, so they'll go real quick. He says, and then immediately has to stare at the directions longingly to figure out where he's going to start. Okay. Let's see. Luckman. I'd have to think about that a bit more as far as how I would want to name them. I think that I would probably have them based off of something. Like, I would have to decide, for example, like let's say they wanted to base the original stuff off of like Norse, whatever. I would want to infuse some of those influences into the unit names, but I have to know what they wanted to do first. But I think that's part of it, is just giving them an identity, because, like, I don't know. Liberators. They liberate. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. But I would love a unit name, like Hoplites, or, you know what I mean? Like, I like when units have role-based names. Okay, back here, now we're building the torso. Again, it is 3 slabs. Now, I know people will find a way to customize these things. I'm just going to say it will require a little bit of work. The Stormcast, not so much, actually. I mean, just because they're dudes in armor, right? As long as you clip at the right joints or whatever, they're good to go. But if you wanted to kit bash Rat Ogres, that would be a project. Oh, that's why there's a big piece of sprue stuck there. A bit of flash stuck on there. So last night, this is not AOS related, but please, if you have any AOS questions, help me out by asking them so I can talk about something else. But we watched a true crime documentary last night that was awesome on Hulu. Well, I'll say it's on awesome. I don't think it was very well directed, but it was on Hulu. Called Perfect Wife. It was highly interesting. About Sherry Papini. Sorry, buddy, give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out how this piece plugs in. I've hit that point in every build where you're like, how in the F? There's something about the rotation of this hip that just always seems to mess with my brain. Because it happened here exactly last time too. Yep, there it is. Just had to keep spinning it around until I got the right angle. Oh my gosh, that took way too long. Apologies. Forgot about the Brood Horde. Do you think Stormcast Eternals will get a fourth centerpiece model? I hope so. I mean, we have Tornus. They showed us that. I don't really know how he ranks in size compared to the Celestant Prime. I don't have any information on that, but intriguing. Okay, we've got 36, 37. Is that how it lines up? You ever look at these diagrams that they make for build instructions and just wish, like, if you guys had just pivoted the design like a quarter of a turn one direction, this would actually be very helpful, but for right now it's utterly useless. How often does that happen to you? I feel like that happened a lot for me with the Island of Blood set for some reason. I mean, that's a throwback, but you know. Is there any indication if Spearhead will work like the 40k version, where there'll be different spearheads for different armies, or is it 1-to-1? You know, we asked them that. They were real dodgy. I don't know. which I feel like was the wrong answer, but I also understand not wanting a bunch of content creators speculating wildly about their next creations or whatever. Nope, you gotta cut that peg. That's way too long. There we go. Perf. All right, next is 39. Oh, he doesn't even have an arm. It's just literally like a nubbin with a hook. I like that. It's a good hook nubbin. And for you, we're going to grab your helmeted head as well, because that sounds awesome. As though it will stop you from wildly speculating. Yes, exactly right. One of my favorite things from the show Parks and Rec is the main character finds out on camera that she's born in a different town than she says she was. Like, they're like, oh yeah, you lied on your biography, and she didn't realize that she was born in a different county or whatever. Anyway, point being, the reporter interviewing her is like, where is she from? Nobody knows. Let's speculate wildly. And then she just like gets really excited to just make stuff up. And I was like, I adore that. Let's speculate wild. Have any guesses as to when we will see the rest of the indexes? Wondering what GW will be showing to keep the hype going for 3 weeks until launch, now that the previews are done. Well, let's see. Oh, I missed something in the conversation. Let's see. You're going full Hallowed Knights? Probably, just because it's easy to prime. I don't plan on collecting Stormcast again, but I want to have them as a Spearhead force. So that's kind of the logic there. Oh wait, you have a shoulder thing I didn't put on yet. Yeah, we gotta get that. That thing's awesome looking. We already got 2 for Stormcast. Yeah, so if you don't know, their clever plan for selling Dominion after Dominion's long gone is that they've made it a Spearhead force. So Andrasta and her hunters, I believe, is what they previewed. Nice. That is a nice looking Rat Ogre right there. Alright, we'll get tons of that. Last one, and then I think it's just all Clanrats. Let's see. Yes. So it is 2 units of 10 Clanrats, it looks like, by my count. Hope they're going to do a bit more than just Dowercast for Rumination Chamber. Texas Wargaming, like, I'm not the only one who looks at the prices and the build instructions and just thinks, how does this go together? Oh yeah, when I'm terrible at building. I assume that's what you were talking about, just like how, why, but yes, I have. It has always been my least favorite part of the hobby. I felt like I scored because I went onto eBay and grabbed somebody was selling a painted with contrast but fully assembled set of Flesh Eater Quartz Endless Spells. And they had it for like dirt cheap. They're like, hey, I know the paint job's really bad, I'm sorry. And I was just sniped them up like, you built it for me and you based out all the main colors for me to then just paint over? Nice. Yes, totally at a discount. Oh, I'm taking a real hit here, guys. Breaking my balls. I'm like, yes! It's discounted because he thinks he did a bad job. Little does he know, I was going to do a worse job. And then I just, yeah, gave a little glow up. It's nice. Point is, every skill level is different. We're all looking for different things. And also to avoid different ones. Hope Korg is cool. Will finally ascend to Demon Hood. Oh, he already has, but I'm hoping, yes, model-wise, he gets one. Okay. Last little bit. Is slide into one another. Sorry, everybody. I know this is real boring. You're figuring this out with me. This is a make it work moment. We're figuring this out in real time. Okay. If you had told me that whoever designed this was drunk at work that day, I'd believe you. Oh, but that one I had the least amount of trouble finding how the torso goes on. That's been my main hiccup for the last two. That's where all my Rubik's Cube spinning around time has been. Okay, he's just got a few bits and bobs on top of that then. Shoulder pad. Let's see, should we give him... Oh, he only has the one option. Okay, never mind. Right, he doesn't have any options. I was like, oh man, I want to use this claw, and it took me a second to realize they are using the claw, it's just in the other arm. Here's a question for you. In your modeling, do you have any weapon options that you are, without question, immediately yes every single time? I will go first. Orc Power Claws. If a unit can take one, they are taking one. And I make no excuses. Do you guys have any weapons from any game system? I'll open that up, but... things where you're just like, I dare you to give me an opportunity to have this on my model. Okay, and last head. Is the NDA on the Fire and Jade book content? Can't find anyone showing War Scrolls from there yet. It is. Unrelated. Come back tomorrow for some more exciting content. For what it's worth, I do plan to cover Spearhead extensively. I put a pull up on my page of like, hey, if I, is anybody else interested in Spearhead, basically was the question. And the overwhelming majority seem to be, yeah, dude. Like, you mean an accessible way to play Age of Sigmar that doesn't take forever? Ash from Guerrilla Miniature Games. he went nuts about it. He had a great time. He's one of those guys. He's interesting. I love hearing about what makes him excited because it's just never the same thing it is for me, but it's interesting to hear. We just come at stuff from different directions, but a lot of the notes he was saying were awesome. I think he said he's played like 30-ish games, something like that, and just is just in love with the system. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, so real excited for Spearhead. Let's see, I'll go back to the downward cam. Did Vandus die to Korgus? No. Korgus needed the head of a Lord Celestant, but that's a blank check. Any Lord Celestant would do, and he took Gavriel Sureheart, Tommy Wiseau Hunter. Do you reckon they'll do something with Ruination Vandus? I really hope they do. I hope they come out with a Vandus. At least, I don't know if he needs his own model because Tornus is also getting his own model, but I do feel like he at least warrants something. Are Clanrats really just 2-3 pieces? That's glorious. Are you kidding me? Oh, look at this. I didn't even know this from their article. I haven't been paying attention too much. Let me zoom in and adjust. So, it's one unit of Clanrats, but there's different heads. So there's a Verminous head, Eshin, Pestilence, and then I think just kind of a generic Clanrat one. But that's interesting. So you have 3 different types of, are they variants for everything or just the leader guy? Probably just the leader guy, I'd imagine. Yeah, all the others heads are sculpted on, but that's cool. I like that. At least it gives them a little bit of character. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to do the Wayne's World whoa effect. Let's see. If they talked about it in the Clanrat article, then I missed that. I'm gonna go Verminous. I like that helmet with like, it's kind of like the Ikit Claw helmet, the spike piece going down the center. Let's see. Now here's the downside. Everything is on the same sprue, but it's scattered to the wind. This wasn't too bad. It was kitty corner to him. They did that, I feel like, with the Soul Wars one. There was one sprue for the Stormcast in particular that I remember, like, why did you put it here? Like, it was like some random, I don't know, it's like a claw for part of the Dracoline or something like that. Just something ridiculous. I was just like, why would I ever look here? Oh, probably helps if it's not upside down. Okay, well, maybe I cut that peg a little too short. I don't know what I did, but the head didn't want to sit nestled in there, so I cut the peg off. And we'll just glue it on. That's fine. It just sits in there perfectly. Isn't that cool? I think most of them are 2 pieces. I'm very impressed with this. Greetings from Hungary. Hey! I have been learning a great deal about Hungary lately, specifically during World War I. Gotta go with the standard bearer. That's for sure. Let's see. If it works like 10th this week, they'll drop Skaven and Stormcast on Thursday, Friday, and the rest will drop across the following week. Is that really how they did it? They dropped Space Marines and whatever? That's a bummer. Nope, that can't be right. I was trying to get his, got the wrong half of the body. Where is he? 8, not 18. That is a big difference. Aha. How do these Rat Ogres look on square bases? I don't know. I don't have any. They supposedly are snapping together pretty good, but I did not clean up the edges, so I think there's some sprue nubbins in the way. I have a question. Does anybody here play Fallout 76? They put out a big expansion lately. I'm curious if anyone has tried it. There we go. Yeah, it was just that little sprue nub. Man, the idea of these guys being 2 parts is awesome. Let's hammer this. We have to do 20. Okay. We got 2 down. I do want the bell, so we're looking for 10 and 11. Is where my thumb is. That's why I couldn't see it. I would love to know what factions, if you guys are picking a faction and kind of learning the edition with that, what are you choosing? Like, there was a moment where I was about to start buying corn stuff. I was like, actually, why don't I just pause? Wouldn't it be really nice to, like, learn the game well before faction hopping already? So that's when I decided to settle down with Flesh Eater Courts for a bit, made the cool case for them. And eventually I will. I do want to get on to... Yeah, okay, there's only one of these options, and then there's... multiples? Oh, there's quite a bit of variance. There's 2 different kinds of banners. Okie dokie. Sorry, I got distracted there. So yes, I am beginning with Flesh Eater Courts. I'm going to start, hopefully, learning more and more about their Spearhead play style. Aha! This guy's a little wonky compared to the others, so that... Oh, I see, and the variations are just on what torso top you clip in, so let's do... do this guy. I like the Verminous one. He's cool looking. Let's see, so we gotta pop this sucker's torso. And we are building. We're off here. If anybody has a topic they'd like to discuss, please go ahead and drop it in the chat if you're just joining us. I'm building up the Spearhead for, is it the Gnaw Feast pack? It's the Skaven one that comes in Skaven Tide. Here we go. 18. 19. I don't know how many banners these dudes are supposed to have, but came with a whole bunch. There we go. So my review of the Clanrat so far is that they're incredibly simple to build. It's just a matter sometimes of gently kind of like rotating one side until the pegs line up and kind of work their way into each other. They don't necessarily slip in as easy as Legos, but if you just kind of take a second to work them, it will. Have a second musician. You clip on to 21. A PSA that I put out yesterday and will continue to do. If your local game store has any Warhammer Underworlds card sleeve packs, grab them up. They fit the Spearhead cards perfectly. Like, there's 12 objective cards. There's 12 battle tactic cards. There's a whole bunch of normal cards. There's plenty of stuff to make that work for your Spearhead stuff. But I wanted to get my followers to know that early because, man, I don't know about you guys. Every store local to me has like a discount section that is just full of those things. So just like scoop them up. Get them, get them, get them. Get. Okay, 24, 25. Let's see. Yeah, it's weird. They go... Numbers are all over the place on this sucker. Mm-hmm. 25. Okay, I'm just going to start doubling down since now we're just building everything in pairs. Now we are in the thick of it. 24 over here. So I built 2, 4, 6. 6 out of my 20. All right, 26 and 27. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. This guy's the first time they're actually next to each other. I think someone asked, and I got distracted by another question. I apologize. Someone asked earlier about my favorite Skaven clan. I have to be honest, I don't know a lot of Skaven lore. Especially from the old world, like if it was a specific clan. If you're talking about like which one of the great clans like Scryer, Pestilence, or whatever, conceptually, I like Pestilence, but I would never paint that army again. I did it once and it broke my soul a little bit. I can't get that time back. It was just too many dudes. It broke your boy. 26, 27. Here we go. You know, I know Eshin has a lot more lore in the old world, but like I said, I wasn't here for that. All I know about Eshin is that, like, from the last End Times book, they went and crushed it in Thankwol. Okay, 28, 29. Let's see. Oh. My chat has been active. It just kind of timed out on me. I deeply apologize, everyone. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, let's go. Magakin, always nice. They dropped Tyranids and Space Marines vanilla only just before the pre-order week. Weird. Is the Ruination Chamber the last one to be released? I have not looked at the old graphic in a long time. For some reason, my brain says there are other chambers. There's always time for a sacrosanct round 2. Electric Boogaloo. Let's see. 30 and 31. Hey Doug, how you been? Been good, man. I still need to mail you out your thing. I hadn't thought about it. I got Robin a rare swamp Kala, I think he is. I don't know, some orc hero at Adepticon, and I have just been the worst friend when it comes to getting this sent out. But it made it across the most difficult Rubicon there is, which is from my desk to shipping packaging. 31. Okay, so where's 30? What am I not seeing? Yep. Okay, pieces 30 and 31 are across different sprues. What do you think the 4th edition spanning implications of the Skaven Doom will be like? What do you think the grand consequences? Grand consequences. I'm gonna say it seems we went through the maps a little bit. I'm gonna give my eyes a break here from the building. We'll just chat and hang out for a quick sec. Ooh, man, I'm burning up. Sorry, buddy. I'm gross. I'm going to say that the spanning things, it seems to be that Skaven holds have sprouted up all over the place. More so in Chaman and Giran. Actually, of course, obviously. What else? Trying to think of what else. They haven't really given us a whole lot. I'm really interested to see if Archaon has like a future plan or whatever. When do the rules full drop? Technically, the rules have already dropped, or I'm allowed to talk about them. You can ask me anything you want. What I'm not allowed to talk about is army lists, allies, Spearhead for a little bit for some reason. I'm not surly, you're surly. And let's see what we got. 32, 33. That's right, I got 2 sets of sprues I'm working with here. He'll be here somewhere. 32, 33. And next is 36, 37. Beastman. Don't talk about it list. Yeah, fair enough. How's the GW sponsorship going? Oh, I mean, they've been sending me stuff for a while. As far as like the affiliate stuff that I got, pretty good. I mean, it dies out whenever I'm not specifically asking people, but it also helps that they seem to be caring more and more about AOS lately. Like, for example, like this today, they put up the super cute Griffhound plushie, and they talked about the Purple Sun plushie. Those look super fun. Hmm. $35, I do not see. Aha, there he is, 34. Man, they're really making me freaking search for these. Wonder if they'll do Horus Heresy 3rd edition next year and just do a new edition. Oh, a game every single year. I don't know, man. Horus Heresy's been doing real good, and they're adding books to it. I don't feel like they. I don't think they've meaningfully expanded it in a way that would necessitate that. Okay, one more set. It's starting to hit that point of summer where it's getting blisteringly hot in my office. So, when this unit is complete, I'll be hopping off. My wife and I had a really lovely little breakfast date this morning. It was quite nice. I'm very happy about that. Got out before it went too hot. Okay, let's see. Will there be any explanation for the absence of so many factions? As for the lore, where did Bones... Oh, like... Why? No. So, Wargamer, what they tend to do, this is my speculation, but it's based on other stuff, is at most, you'll get like... Hishian scholars once postulated that there might be some kind of manimal, some kind of moose man, or beast man, if you will, that might have once paraded around the universe, but they'll act as if it's never happened before. And that's just how they do it. Whenever they release a new book and they want to change something, they act as if it's always been that way. And that goes for Space Marines, right? Which, for a stagnating Imperium that hasn't designed anything new, and then they come out with the Centurion armor, and you're like... Right, that's that same thing of just, well, no, it's always been here. Is it though? Should it have been? Yep, okay. I got too much sprue on this little peg end here. Okay. Right that way then. How aren't Moosemen a unit? There was a game at Adepticon that kind of had my interest simply because it had cat people, like Khajiit. And I don't know why, but there's just something, like, game designers just don't seem to want to make Catman armies. I'm like, y'all, cats are, like, the foundational part of human civilization, y'all. We gotta get in that cat money. I'm sure that there are dozens of women who would love to be engaged in Warhammer. It just doesn't speak to them because it's not cat-related. There are dozens of us. Dozens! Are you going to focus only on Spearhead, or do you have plans for Path to Glory also? Oh no, I have plans for both. No, I'll probably focus on Spearhead a bit more in the beginning, simply because it is a more complete format. Like, I went through the Path to Glory system in yesterday's video, and I noted that they took away a lot of things, like the building your stronghold and that kind of stuff, which struck me as odd. And so I think I'm really excited to see whatever the next bit of campaign material is, or whatever the next thing that has story in it is, because I was like, okay, so you laid out some pretty cool, frameworks here, but it's just play games and gain experience, as opposed to like, I don't want casualty scores back, but I like the idea of building a base over time. I think if I was going to do a system, I want it to be more warband focused than the base building, but I like the way, for example, if you ever played Total War, every couple of rounds, like, it'll come up with like a question or a quandary, and it's like a twist for you and your army of, there's a person in your court who's trying to usurp power. What do you do with them? And you can kill them to get a bonus, or let them go to do whatever. And it changes every time. But I'm just saying, like, wouldn't it be cool if you kept track of your warband's progress, and, you know, whether it's deities, local kings, or whatever, they throw challenges at you, and then you get like decision points along a story arc. I like that a bit. Which is sort of what they do with Warcry. You know, except for them, it's more like at the end of the campaign, you choose an outcome and that's your reward. I'm thinking more like decision trees, but that might be a bit too much to add. I don't know. Boom. Okay, let's see. Let's check out the madness we've got here. Okay, a banner in each unit. We got 2 musicians, 2 leaders, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 units of 10 to complement our 3 Rat Ogres, Gracier and Engineer, and Lord on, I don't know, Nop or Jack or whatever. I noticed in some Spearhead battle reports that they were able to choose stuff like enhancements. I thought Spearhead armies were set in stone. How much choice is there in modifying your force? Boy, have I got a video for you tomorrow. But I can talk about my experiences that I already had on Garage Hammer. So, one of the things about Spearhead, your army roster, which they have never shown in any of the preview articles, a full army roster for Spearhead. The way that the format works is you sit down, choose an army, so you would bring that with you, right? You and your opponent decide who's the attacker defender, you choose a realm, and then the attacker usually has to choose their enhancements first. There's 2 formation abilities, and 4 enhancements for your general, like items. And so you get to choose those every game to be reactive. Or like it's a reactive thing. So you're not locked in. By design, Spearhead is if I went to a 5-game event, every one of those 5 games I have the chance to choose a different enhancement and battle formation to make my list do what it needs to do. Now, when I played my game, I went with the simplest stuff to remember because I was already kind of taking in a lot in my brain. I would have played things differently, but that is a cool thing. And that's something that I hit on Garage Hammer, and I hope to do so in my coverage here, is that to say that there is no list building in Spearhead is disingenuous, because it is still teaching you those core list building skills of choosing, setting up your army, right? Because like if you go from Spearhead to the main game, you are used to battle traits, you're used to battle formations, to enhancements, that kind of stuff. It's a little bit different in Spearhead. I'll talk about that later. But like, you're telling people how to choose things and choose synergies and identify them. So like, there's still a format there. Like, it's not just the models you don't choose, but there's still a fundamental choice in how you synergize them together to beat a specific opponent. How about that? What does choose a realm mean? Yes. So if you have watched any of the battle reports, you might notice that they sometimes play on different sides of the same board. Basically, there's an Akshi side and a Korean side. And yeah, they have different twist decks. I'm going to go ahead and pause there and tell you I'm sorry I have to wait till tomorrow. But tomorrow I will go through all the details of everything. Love the, there we go. Nice. He's a chunky boy on a 50 mil. Come on. No, that doesn't seem right. There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay. I'm a noob to the hobby with Dark Oath Marauders. Do I use swords or spears, or does it matter? Honestly, I don't think it matters at this point, if I'm not mistaken. I am of someone who says rule of cool. You just got into the game. Which do you think looks more badass? Because weapons will change. Right? You might build spears now because they're good, and then all of a sudden the book drops, and later on, and it's like, oh, well, now it's the opposite. Doesn't matter, man, as long as you think they look rad. Wasn't a fan of 3rd edition Path of Glory. New one looks more appealing. Just wish they wouldn't bow to the army campaign books across the editions. Do you think there will be a Spearhead supplement in like 6 months that introduces 2 more realms? You know, interestingly enough, one of the things that this does answer your question, I promise. I've noticed is how they're setting things up to easily expand or create products in the future. And it seems like that was a core idea of this entire edition, was like, how do we make it so that injecting new things doesn't just continuously keep ruining our games? And I think to that end, they've done very well. Put a little glue down. That guy's foot was not quite very strong. But I would love to see that. Certainly, you know, like maybe if they have a big narrative arc. What I would really like to see, backing up, is for them to do narrative arc stories that don't have to be the entire edition. Like, yes, Skaven are the big enemy, But I don't, they could be this big enemy everywhere. They don't need to just be in like Akshi, right? So, and it seems like that's what they're doing. My point being is like, I want more natural ways of integrating the rest of the universe's space and setting into stuff. So like having like, hey guys, this next campaign series, nothing to do with or like the Skaven Doom per se, but Skaven are involved, and it's going to be set in Ulgu and Akshi. I'm here for that, right? Give me the board that says Ulgu and Akshi. Everything is now set up to where you could just drop a campaign series. Maybe a Path to Glory book, something that has the Spearhead stuff in it. If there's any new warbands, that's a good value book if it had all that. Sisters of Slaughter War Scroll were shown. It's called Sisters of Slaughter with Bladed Buckler, indicating there will be another scroll. So weapon choices will apparently matter. It is not consistent. Because I see what you're saying, and I'm just here to tell you. Liberators are just liberators, even though there's all different kinds of liberators. So it's a unit by unit basis. It's about what I assume it's about what the army needed in terms of design. If they felt like they needed more units, if they could simplify or not. And that's why my advice is rule of cool, right? Because it's I don't have information to answer his question directly in front of me about which is better, and certainly I'm not going to make bold statements like that about the new edition. But I just know it's inconsistent. Very much enjoyed your short story, The Price of Treason for Anvilgard. No idea if the faction is dead. Still great. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, no, that was... I'm trying to remember which lore contest that was. There we go. That popped into the wrong socket. All right, there we go. 2 spearheads in 2 days. We did it, friends, ladies and gentlemen. We got them. We got an entire... What is this called? The Gnaw Feast Claw Pack. So we've got Orville, Wilbur, Beatrice, bunch of unnamed guys. Let's see, let's put all those guys together. Hank, Susan, Monica. There we go. We're good. Names chosen. This is getting easier by the army. Anyway, friends, with that done, we have completed stuff. I have a lot I want to talk to you about starting tomorrow. So, anyway, look forward to that. I'm excited for you guys. I really am. There will be coverage. The way that I plan on doing my Spearhead content is I'm going to redo all of my Get Starting box reviews, since that is a way of the past. And instead, in redoing them, talk about them as Spearhead products, and then at the end have a discussion about like, now how does this lead you into the greater army, so that it's still a starter set review, but it is its own product, the Spearhead Force. So like, we can take some time to talk about that. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about handling things in the future. Let me know if you have feedback or questions you would like answered. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys more throughout the coming weeks as I am able to. But it's helped me a lot to get a lot of stuff painted. But not painted, built. I hate building models. So this has been a huge deal for me. I'm going to clean up the rest of the stuff and get started priming and painting on these things. So Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, and I will catch you very soon